Hi guys, today we're going to learn about perimeter. So our objective is to find the perimeter of polygons, and this is page 60. Alright, well, perimeter means the distance around a polygon. Peri means around, meter means measure, so the word literally means to measure around. Okay, so right here, well, we have a four-sided polygon, which is a quadrilateral. So to find the perimeter, I would just need to add all the sides. So we have 10, 5, 4, and 9. And we can add that. Well, I know this makes 9, so 9 and 9 is 18. And that would be 28. And so this would be 28 centimeters. Perimeter is just a length, so it's just going to be whatever the unit is, centimeters. Okay, so now let's look and see if we have a square or a rhombus. Well, first of all, what do I know about squares and about rhombuses? Well, all the sides are the same length. So all I need to do is label one side and I could figure out the perimeter or all the way around, since each side would be the same thing. So we can have a formula right here, which is 4 times the length of a side. So since the length of this side is 8 and all 4 of these are 8, we just multiply this by 4. So the perimeter would equal 4 times 8. And that would equal 32 feet. All right, same thing here, because a rhombus, all the sides are the same. The perimeter would equal 4 times 14, the length of one side. And then we can multiply that. So 14 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16, 4, 5. So the perimeter equals 56 feet. Okay, now let's look at a rectangle or a parallelogram. Now these shapes are similar because the opposite sides are the same length. So we have this formula. Now you can also just label all the sides and add all the sides, but you can also use this formula since there are two lengths, 9, and this has to be 9, and two widths, 4.5, so this has to be 4.5. So I can just double the length and double the width and then add them. So perimeter equals 2. Now it really doesn't matter which one I call the length and which one I call the width. So I'm just going to pick this for now. 2 times 9 plus 2 times 4.5. All right, well, 2 times 9 is 18 plus 2 times 4.5, well, I know 2 times 4 is 8, and then a half and a half make a whole, so that would be 9. And when I add that, that would equal 27. And it's in inches, so 27 inches. Okay, same thing for my parallelogram. I can use this formula, P, or perimeter, equals 2 times, well, let's go with this for the length, 22. Plus 2 times 16. Again, I know I can just double these because if this is 22, this is 22. If this is 16, this is 16. All right, well, 2 times 22 is 44, plus 2 times 16 is 32. So if I add that, 4 and 2 makes 6, 4 and 3 makes 7, 76 inches. Okay, and be careful if you're trying to do it in your head, you might want to come over to the side and double check yourself. So let's just double check and make sure. 44 plus 32, 6, 7, okay, good. All right, next one, triangles. Okay, well, it depends on the type of triangle. If I have a scaling triangle, which means all sides are different, I would need all 3 sides so that I could find the perimeter. However, if I had this triangle, which is an equilateral triangle, all the sides are the same. So in this case, I would only need one side and I could find the perimeter because I could just multiply 6 times 3. So in this one, with an equilateral triangle, you can just do 3 times whatever the side length is, in this case 6. And 3 times 6 is 18 meters. Now, if you have this type of triangle, which by these markings, I know two sides are the same, that would be isosceles. For an isosceles triangle, if this is 13, I would need to label this as 13. And then I know the third side is 8. So I can do 2 times 13, or 13 plus 13. 2 times 13. And then I'm going to add the third side, which is 8. All right, well, 2 times 13 would be 26 plus 8. Perimeter equals 34 meters. Okay, again, be careful. Work out anything you need to. All right, next we have composite figures. Now this will be a much larger focus in 7th grade, but I wanted to show you this. So I see right here that I have some of my sides labeled, but not all of them. Well, perimeter doesn't mean just add the sides that are labeled. It means add all of the sides. So the first thing I need to do is figure out what are these two sides that are not labeled. Well, if I look here, this line right here would be the same as if it were up here. So this would be 3, and this whole piece makes this bottom. So 3 plus 2, that means this would have to be 5 inches. And then right here, I'm trying to find this piece. Well, I know the whole thing is 10, and I know this is 6, and this is the same length as this. So if this whole thing is 10 and this part is 6, I would subtract those to figure out this. 10 minus 6, this has to be 4 inches. All right, so now that I've labeled all the sides, I can actually find the perimeter. So now be careful that you actually use all the numbers. Sometimes I have students that start to add the sides and then they just accidentally leave out one. So make sure you write them all down. So I've got 10, 5, 6, 3, 4, and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. And then add. Well, this makes 11, and 3, 4, and 2, well, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. That makes 9. So now I'm going to just add those 3. Sometimes doing something like that can make it a lot easier to add a whole bunch of numbers. So 9, 10, so that makes 30. So my perimeter equals 30 inches. Okay, last one. Molly wants to put a ribbon trim on the edge of a rectangular cheerleading banner. If she has 30 feet of ribbon, what is the widest her banner can be if it has a length of 6 feet? All right, well, here's what I mean by a cheerleading banner. It's rectangular, okay, so I draw a rectangle. The ribbon, I'm putting ribbon around the edge. So that means it's going to be around right here. So in other words, the perimeter. The ribbon is only 30 feet long, so that's telling me right here that 30 feet is my perimeter. Okay, so I know all the way around is 30. I know that the widest, I'm trying to figure out what the widest it can be, and the length is 6. Well, I'm going to label these 6. I'm going to call these the length, and I'll call this the width. So if this is 6, that means this other side is also 6. Don't forget, there are 2 sides that are the length. So 2 lengths, 2 6s, okay? Then I'm trying to figure out what this could be, and I only want one of them. I don't want both of them. So what I'm going to do is, since I know the total and I know these, let's get rid of this so I don't have to worry about those anymore. So I'm going to add these 2 pieces together, which is 6 plus 6, which is 12. Now, I know 12 feet of the ribbon is already taken up, so I'm going to subtract that to see what's left over. 30, and then minus the 12. So that's 8, and that's 1. So now I have 18 feet left over for 2 sides. Don't tell me the width is 18. You've got 2 sides. So since I have 2 sides and they're both the same, I can then take that 18 feet and divide it by 2, and that would give me 9. So then this would be 9, and this would be 9. And so what's the widest my banner could be? The width would equal 9 feet. Now, let's double check. How could I check this? Well, let's add all four numbers and make sure that we get 30. So 9 and 9 is 18, and 6 and 6 is 12, and 18 plus 12, that's 10, that's 30. All right, seems to work. All right, guys, so just remember, perimeter is all the way around the outside. When in doubt, add all the sides. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next time.